Hey everyone, it's Up North Collectors here, and today we are doing 10 tips for the 2022 National. I am going to be driving to Atlantic City on Tuesday. I'll be there all week with Jake from Great Lakes Brakes, Matt, and my buddy Gavin. This year, you are not going to be able to make it. But
no, I am not. I'm staying back, but he's got this thing called a card shop. So I'll be
someone's going to be working at the card shop.
Yeah, I'll be working there, and maybe we'll do a video from the card shop with Luke at the National. That's one of the goals, so we'll see.
So we're each going to give 5 tips. We're just going to kind of rotate back and forth. So I will start off with the most important tip, in my opinion, is to bring comfortable footwear, because without comfortable footwear, you will die at these shows. Now this one, we've never been to Atlantic City before. We went to Cleveland and Chicago, so this is my first time in Atlantic City. We have not gone, so we can't speak as much to the venue, whereas like in Chicago, we could tell you more about where to eat, or, what the venue's like, where the walking distance, things that we don't know any of that here.
No.
But just in general, so this is gonna be more just general tips. Comfortable footwear and comfortable clothing, because one, these things are usually hot. Two, you stand all day long basically, and maybe there's enough seating, but generally there's not going to be enough seating for like 40,000-50,000 people. So just be aware that if you're going to sit, you're going to sit on the floor. You get one of those little collapsible stool things on Amazon or whatever, but just wear comfortable shoes. Very important.
Yeah, maybe in Atlantic City there is some place, but the only place that was like that had a place to sit was Cleveland. Cleveland actually had tables where you could buy food.
But it was a different time then too, so there's a lot less people. But your turn.
All right, so number 2, or my number 1, I'd say bring ample supplies, okay? So I heard somebody else say this recently, and it rang true last year. I remember being in Chicago. There's millions of booths there. And tables set up, and it seems like there was literally like 2 people with supplies. Now maybe this year will be different because you had the whole COVID supply chain issue, which still is a problem for things like top loaders and sleeves and all that. But you got to spend a lot of time running around the show looking for supplies. So if you see some in the beginning and you need some, pick them up, put them in your bag, and go. So get whatever you need for whatever types of cards you're buying. Maybe you want top loaders or one touches or whatever, but definitely bring those, and then bring something to store your cards in, whether it's a case or a box of some kind. We like to bring like 500 count boxes or 400 count boxes or something like that, just to put a small amount of cards in, or bring like a graded card box if you have some at home, like a
SGC PSA or SGC box.
Yeah. So that'd be one of my tips.
Yeah, that's really smart. My next tip would be, especially if you're there like the first couple of days or when you first get in there, if you're walking around, one thing that a lot of people say, which is very true, is take a lap, kind of check it out. But at the same time, when you're taking that lap, especially on one of the first 2 days, if you see a card that you're like, it's on your bucket list, or it's something where like if you're doing what I'm doing, looking to pick something up where you're going to resell it, and you see something and it's like, oh, that's a really good price on this card, don't wait, just pick it up. Talk to the dealer, pick it up right now, right then, because if you walk back, chances are it's not going to be there. Sometimes it might be, but a majority of the time when there's this many people all kind of doing the same thing, especially if it's like a really popular card or a really unique card, just buy it. You're not going to see it again and you're going to regret it. So that was a mistake that I made a couple of times last year, where I was like, maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't, and then I came back a couple hours later, gone. So if you see something and you're really confident about it, or it's something that you really want, just buy it. Because the worst case scenario is there's so many trade nights and things to go to, you can just put it out at a trade night and move it probably similarly to what you paid for it, if you kind of, or maybe at a little loss, whatever, but you can always get rid of it, right? So, but you might not ever have a chance to buy it again.
Yeah, so last year, I think on that point, I was looking for Tony Gwynn stuff, but I just decided to look for it like halfway into the show, so like by Thursday. And I talked to all the vendors, and they're all like, nope, sold all that stuff day number 1. And that was, I must have went to like, 25, 30, 40 different places and asked the same question as I was looking for stuff. Do you have any Tony Gwynn stuff? Oh, sold that day 1. So, yeah, that's a valid point. Good point. And especially if it's rare, don't assume you're going to find it. Just buy it if it's a good price. Yep. So for me, I think the next thing would be is make sure that you get enough rest, obviously, but you're not going to get much anyways. So make sure you get enough food and caffeine in you, and use your time in a good way. In other words, make it fun. It's about the people as much as it is about the cards and about the venue. So find time just to, spend time with people and spend time doing something other than maybe, just getting hard pressed to look at cards. Now, if you're only there for one day, that's a lot harder to do. But if you're there for multiple days, you can relax a little bit, slow down, and, have some fun with some other collectors that you can't see throughout the year. Try to drink enough, eat enough. And as far as food goes, like was said in the beginning, we don't know what there is there to eat. But if you're like at a VRBO or you're someplace where you can buy food, definitely get enough to put in your bag and stick it in your backpack for the day, and then just get some have some drinks on the way, because most likely the expense of buying something at a concession stand there is going to be very high.
And going to the time management thing on the food on top of it, if you wait for concessions, unless it's much different, like the Chicago last year is probably like a 30 to 45 minute wait to get like a hot dog from the concession stand, like from like 11 a.m. to like 3 p.m. every day. So just be aware of that. I would highly recommend packing something and just bringing it, or just not eating. But I would definitely recommend packing something and bringing it with you.
Yeah, we've done that every year, and it's always worked out, because you just grab a snack while you're walking to the next table. And
exactly. My next tip would be regarding the promotions, Panini Silver Packs, Top Silver Packs, or promotional packs, the Upper Deck packs, if they're going to do those again. Take advantage of that stuff, because we have gone there the past 4 years, and we, without the intention of trying to like make money, right? Just going there for the experience. We ended up pretty much making money, paying for your trip just on those promotions. If you can take advantage of them, and it's not going to be for everybody, right? If you don't want to take advantage of it, don't do it. If you're looking to buy just singles, then just buy singles. Don't worry about it. But if you like opening cards, it's well worth your time to at least try the silver packs. Usually the Panini ones are really, really good. They have been every single year we've been there. The Tops ones can be a little bit more hit or miss, but usually the Tops ones, you can get literally any product with it. Whereas the Panini ones, it's only a select few products, and it's normally just kind of stuff they're looking to unload. But the silver packs are a lot better. So definitely look to take advantage of those. And if you're there earlier in the week, take advantage of them earlier in the week. And if you have a VIP pass, it can be advantageous to get there early, get your stuff and get in line. But also, like especially at Panini, just talk to the people there, talk to the ladies that they normally have there, or any of the reps there, because they'll tell you what time, where to line up, and kind of what's going on. Last year there was a lot of lines going all over the place, and you didn't really know what was what. So just kind of talk to some people, talk to some of the Panini people, and figure it out.
Or Tops, if you're staying at the Tops line, or Upper Deck, or whatever it is. And they'll tell you where to go and what's happening, and then it'll save you a ton of time.
Yeah, and if you can kind of talk to them like, hey, how long has this been going on? Is it going to run out? So is it even worth, spending time in line? And then another thing in regards to that Panini redemption thing, I believe they're not doing walk-ups. I believe you had to sign up for it months in advance. Or not months in advance, but you did have to sign up for it in advance. They might be taking walk-ups, but I think that's already passed. So don't expect to just go there and get your redemptions done. I could be wrong on that, but definitely look into it.
Yeah, I think I heard something along those lines. Definitely figure those out. And go another tip that's similar to that one is go to the booths of all these big dealers. So Fanatics and PSA and SGC and Panini, all those guys. Anybody that you recognize, eBay last year was giving out free cards. I can't remember what you did. You had to do something. Put in your email each day. Yeah, put in your email, and then you could get these cards. I think they're selling for like $50 to $100 if you didn't want to keep them.
Like I sold mine for like 25 or 30 in cash on the spot.
It depends on what you got, but once again,
it's free. It's free money.
You can buy other cards with that if you really want to trade that in for something else. But but go and talk to the people. Are you doing giveaways? How do I enter? What are you giving away? Even the smaller tables and stuff will have stuff like Pristine Auctions. It's not a small area, but they would do daily raffles.
And like Upper Deck's thing was always awesome. Blowout cards had a big giveaway.
So
just take advantage of it.
So that's one thing where you can go look at stuff all day, but then just know those times of when they're doing these promotions. Also, some of the people in the Breaker Pavilion, if they have that again, will do like free breaks or some kind of deal, you know, where they're offering something for free. So go check out those two. There's just tons of promotions you can take advantage of. And like for the Panini and Topps ones, I think they'll probably start publishing something soon in the next day or two.
Yeah, like Tuesday or Wednesday stuff will start getting posted. Just follow them on social, follow them on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then it'll be on like their website and stuff too. Blowout forums if you're into that. But you know, just keep tabs on it. But your turn for number 6.
That was yours.
All right, so it's back to me now.
Yeah, I did a kind of like
a little
add-on, but something a little different, right? Yeah.
Take advantage of what's going on at night. Last year, you could literally walk into a hotel room and there'd be a ton of people set up, especially if you like doing what I'm doing, where you go and buy stuff and want to either flip it, trade into some different stuff.
Yep.
I'm going to be looking for stuff specifically for my shop this year. So
when when you say hotel, you mean like the hotel lobby?
Like not like you're not like going to people's hotel rooms. It's like the lobby of the hotel. Yeah, like, hi, do you have any cards to trade?
Yeah.
No. Just the lobbies and stuff. It'll be the same this year. I've already heard people talking about it. Card Collector 2's trade night is awesome. Him with Jimmy from Kentucky Roadshow. Check that out. Well worth your time going to if you're into that kind of thing.
I think that's in the actual.
It's in the convention center this year. Yep. There's going to be other trade nights and stuff going on. Other people are doing stuff just in general. So just follow people on social media. You'll hear about it at the show too.
Yep.
You'll talk to people and you'll hear like rumblings about stuff. And again, most of card collectors are very friendly people just in general.
Yeah.
Most of the time they're not just going to be like, they'll talk to you. So, just ask someone if you have any questions about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and there'll be a big buzz of stuff happening.
But take advantage of the trade nights and the other stuff going on at night, the after parties. Like I know Filmington has an after party. Like there's just a bunch of cool stuff going on. So just check it out. Meet up with friends afterwards, whatever, but take advantage of it.
Yeah, and most of it's free. I mean, most all of it's free. I mean, if you're going to buy food and drink, obviously that's different. But yeah, so it's free. Yeah, so that's a good advice. The other thing I would suggest is make sure you have your cash in line. If you're going to bring cash, obviously you got to be careful with how much you bring, keep it secure, all that stuff. Your debit card, credit card, PayPal, Venmo, whatever you have. More and more dealers seem to be taking electronic forms of payment. Some will have an upcharge, like they'll say, okay, if you're going to buy that, like I remember last year, DA, I think, Card World would be like, yeah, we can sell it to you at this price, but if that's only if you're paying cash.
Right.
If you're paying credit, we got to, do the 2 or 3% charge. So make sure you have that all set up, and also make sure that with your phone, you have a extra battery charger if your phone dies quickly. You're going to have a hard time getting some of this, these communication devices to work well. Last year at Chicago, I was shocked how good it worked.
Yep.
Because when we were there a few years before, it wasn't like that. I think they definitely beefed up the Wi-Fi and beefed up, however they could beef up the cellular service in there, but it was way better. So make sure you have your forms of payment in line, and think about how you're going to pay for it. If you're dependent on an ATM machine, obviously figure out where that is. Some dealers are cash only dealers, so just be prepared for that. And once again, how much money do you feel safe carrying around? And we've seen people and heard stories of people with briefcases full of $100 bills.
I watched a guy pull out $75,000 in cash last year at the National and plop down the table. Right. So there's guys like that, but I think this year dealers are a little more accepting of taking e-payment just because there's a $600 minimum to get a 1099-K, which is just a tax document this year, which before it was $20,000 was the minimum.
Right.
And so people hit that very, very quickly.
Yeah,
and so now they're just like, we're going to get taxed on it anyway, whatever.
Right.
But some guys are like, cash only. So cash is usually king, but I think it's a little bit better this year, but just be aware that cash is king. So
and then going back to that too, don't be afraid to ask. Like for instance, buying wax, that's just one example, but also at tables. Don't be afraid to ask them, what's your best price on this? What if I buy more? Even when they have a place like DA or Blowout or anything that you think they won't haggle, you can't haggle with them.
They'll work with you.
They may work with you. And we've had other tables say, oh yeah, sure, we'll give you 5% off or whatever. It's just kind of like buying cards. They put a sticker on it. It says $15. You may get it for 10. But if you don't ask, you won't find out.
Yep. So number 8, this is number 8 now for me. This is in regards to selling cards to dealers at the show. I hear a lot of people talking about bringing their cards to sell at the National. I would highly recommend, if you want to sell for cash and get the best amount of money for your cards, go to trade night, because you're going to get more from other collectors generally than you are from a dealer. Most of the dealers there are pretty much, I mean, they want cool cards, but they're in to make money. If you want to sell to dealers, sell to them on Saturday, Sunday, Friday, because they're generally going to be running, not necessarily running out of inventory, but they'll have at least sold some stuff. If you go up to tables on Wednesday and try to sell them stuff, might not work very well, depending on the dealer.
Depending on what you're trying to sell them.
Yeah, exactly. But you also have to be aware that you are not going to get 100% of eBay, 90% of eBay, 80% of eBay. You're going to get paid 55 to 65% of eBay from 90% of dealers. Unless you have really, really high-end quality inventory, then you may be more open to getting in the 70 to 80% range. But you're not going to be getting full eBay comps for any of that stuff, especially if you're selling to a dealer or a smaller dealer, even a big dealer. They're gonna pay 50 to 65% because they have to make some money. So just be aware of that when you're trying to sell cards. In general, I would say it's already too late for this, but I would say sell cards before the National, have cash, and go in there with cash. It's just going to be a lot easier. But if you do want to sell the trade nights, the lobbies at night, you can definitely do really, really well selling.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because there's a lot of, last year there were a lot of young people selling cards and trading. And, a lot more, I think, deals could be made there then versus at a table in the showroom.
And also going back to my point there, a lot of the dealers like Mealy Pops, Ryan Card Collective 2 are going to be spending a lot of cash at this show buying, right? In order to get them to even look at your stuff, you're probably going to have to wait in line. That is just, if you go up to like Mealy Pop's table, have a big buying sign, there will be 10 guys in line waiting to show them their cards, right? So just be aware of that too. It's not like a small show you can just go up and be like, hey, I've got this stuff. We looked in my case. No. They want to know what your price is, and they want to, and you're going to have to wait in line. That's just how it goes at these big shows. So
yeah, for sure.
Most of the time.
Yeah, the next thing, and some of these things are, we're making this like a couple days before the National, so obviously it's, last minute. But if you can still get a VIP pass into the show to get in early, definitely do that. I think last I heard they were still available, but I'm not sure that's true.
So the VIP passes are sold out, but you can get like
the early access
pass, which is just the VIP pass without any of the stuff. You might get like a parking thing with it. I don't know.
I think that's the super VIP, but anyways,
whatever. It doesn't matter. Not going to get huge into that because that's already long gone. You should have your passes by now. But the early access, highly recommend, because that first half hour is key if you actually want to get some. Because like last year in Chicago, you wanted to look through a value box, you would have to wait in line, right?
Yeah.
So
get in early. And then if you know people, like for instance, a dealer who has a table and they're looking for some help or whatever, you can get, sometimes you can get in with a dealer pass if they have extra ones. Once again, it's about who you know. But definitely try to get that early access. And, as far as, going around, walking around, we don't know anything about the outside of the area, but we've heard different stories about Atlantic City. Obviously, travel in numbers, especially if you're leery about where you're going, and just be aware of your surroundings as far as how you travel. But as far as getting into the show, obviously have your tickets ready to go, and if you haven't bought them already, I think there's still plenty of time, I would imagine, to get the general admission VIPs if they're out of those, but then that early admission one is definitely a good buy.
Yep. And so then for this would be number 9 now.
Yeah.
So for number 9, I would say a good one, this is going to be in regards to actually finding good deals at the National. First 2 days are key, but it doesn't really matter because a lot of at these shows, guys are refilling their showcases, their boxes constantly. A lot of them have a ton of excess inventory that they're pumping in, so you'll find deals every day. It's not like some people say like, oh, Wednesday and Thursday you can only find the good deals. You can find them all week. It just gets a little harder towards the end.
Yep.
But at the National in particular, value boxes are a little bit harder to find just because guys are paying $3,500 to set up for the week. But when you do find them, especially at a table where a guy has a bunch of high-end stuff and then a value box that's like 10 to 15 bucks, you can get some incredible deals in them if you take the time to look, because a lot of those guys just don't care as much about that smaller stuff. They're just kind of looking to unload it, and they usually price that stuff way in advance. Same thing that I would do for my value boxes. You price it way in advance, and then you just let it sit there.
They're just trying to let it move. They're just trying to move it.
Yep. So at a big show like the National, value boxes are really, really important. important and a lot of fun to go through. The showcase stuff you'll find really good deals on as well, depending on the dealer. Some guys I think this year are really going to be looking to move stuff. Others not so much, just because cards have fallen so much recently. So just be aware of that. But definitely value boxes at the National. I found some really, really good stuff last year in them. So just walk around, look through boxes, especially in the value boxes first couple of days. Those can be really, really loaded.
Yeah. So will this be the last?
This is the last one, number 10.
All right, last
no
one.
pressure.
Number 10. All right, so I'm gonna say it's about the people. We already said that once, but specifically this point is make sure you take time. Meet new collectors, stand in line, don't just stand there, actually talk to some people, strike up a conversation. Oh, you collect this or you collect that. That makes it so much more fun. All the time, most of us are sitting in a room, opening cards. Maybe, Luke and I do it together. And then you're talking to people online. It's all, not in person. This is all in-person stuff. And then go to the booths. Talk to some of the reps there. Talk to people at Panini. Say, hey, Panini, I heard you're going to be doing this. Is this true? Well, just start talking to people. You get to know the hobby better, and you get to know people in the hobby better. And it kind of takes some of that, veneer off that you kind of thought, oh, these people are, are this way or that way. Talk to people. You go to some of the breaking people. Talk to them if you have a breaker you like. Introduce yourself. Say, hey, I break with you, and that's a lot of fun. And then obviously, more importantly, the people that you are talking with all year online. Meet up with them, talk to them. Get to have a face-to-face conversation with them. I mean, to me, that's the biggest part I'm going to miss out on. I love the cards, I love the promotions, I love the silver packs, but I'm going to miss, talking to these guys face to face. So and it's not just your friends; it's just all the different
everybody. You get to see and sort of experience so many different things at the National, and you do at any other card show. I mean, I haven't been to like Dallas or anything, but going to Shipshawana, which is a pretty decent sized show, it's not the same. It's not even close. So right. It's just so much different than anything else.
Yeah.
Definitely, like you said, take time to talk to people, meet people. Basically, not everyone's there, but pretty much everyone's there, right? There's a lot of guys in the hobby that are going to be there, a very high percentage. So a lot of the guys you're talking to on Facebook, on Instagram are going to be there. So make sure you take time to meet up with them, say hi. You might not recognize them in person, but you might.
Right.
And then sometimes you'll meet some. I mean, there's some like last year, Steve Aoki is walking around. I know Gary Vee is supposed to be going this year. So there's some celebrities. Joe Staley was there last year. You guys ran to Joe Staley.
We ran to him. Yep.
So just talk to people.
Yeah,
it makes it fun.
Right, you'll see camera crews. You'll see guys like. Do you remember we saw this group of folks that had these elaborate cameras. We didn't know who they were. We still don't know who they are.
Yep.
Anyway, so it's very interesting. You'll see people acting like they're big shots, and other people that are, and people that are just totally unassuming. Like when we bumped into Staley, we're like, that guy looks like a football player, and then we started talking to him. Oh, he is a football player.
Yeah.
So, or he was. Anyway, so, that is definitely a cool part of the National. Unlike any other show out there. And also, think about it, too. You got a long time each day to be at those shows. And, for some people, they can only do so much looking at tables and dollar boxes, for hours on end. And other people can do it, basically from the time the show starts to it ends. But, so take your time and do some different things and hang out with folks.
Yeah, and just have fun. I mean, that's the biggest part.
Right, just have fun. Yeah,
don't like stress about
it.
Don't worry about, especially if you're only there for one day, don't worry about like seeing everything and like doing everything. You're not going to. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Just have fun.
Right, and check out other videos. A lot of people are doing videos, so just type in, tips for the National, 2022, and you'll get all kinds of other things. We've only did, 23-minute video so far here. I mean, we could go on for a lot longer, but we won't, because we know a lot of other people have already made some really good content on this. We've done videos like this in the past, so go back and check our other National videos, because there'll be other information on there privy to like Chicago or whatever, but it still will pertain to the stuff going on in Atlantic City.
Exactly. And then I would definitely recommend checking out like like Ryan's videos, Card Collector 2. Check out his videos. Last year he did a series, like a 3-part series, 5-part series on it. Those were super helpful last year. I watched those. And then like podcasts too, same thing. Just listen to them, follow social media. You'll kind of see what's happening. If you can't go, just check out social media, watch YouTube, buy stuff on eBay. It's a great time to buy stuff on eBay because people, not as many people are looking. So,
Right.
you know, keep that in mind. If you can't go, you can still have fun and partake in it. But
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of people streaming stuff.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly.
A lot
So,
of people are streaming different things from the national. Some are just doing live streams of, you know, showing
Right.
what they're doing on the floor
right.
and
But
yeah, other events. So yeah, check it out.
yeah. And one more thing I would say too, that I saw something about like some main stage thing that was happening, like
Oh,
on the
yeah.
main stage. I don't know what this one's like, but in the past we've never really done a ton of those things. Sometimes they're
Few,
cool, but
yeah.
I wouldn't get, if you're like this is your first time going, you see this like main stage thing, I wouldn't get like this like crazy idea that it's something super crazy and special. There are some cool stuff that happens, but it just depends on what you're looking for. In years
Yeah.
past, it's just been kind of madness. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Yeah, keep it in mind. Yeah, keep that in mind. But definitely, I think they have a schedule for it, so you can kind of
Yep,
tell
you
what's
can check it
happening.
out.
Yeah, yeah. So check it out and check out all the national stuff online. They have scheduled stuff and Panini. Like I said, Panini Tops Upper Deck probably will have their list out soon of you know, silver packs and pretty much what products you have to buy for that. They won't give you
Right.
prices because all the dealers have different prices, but at least you kind of have an idea of going into it what you can look forward to buying if you want to get those promotions.
Right. So I will see you all in Atlantic City this week. We're going to try to do some cool content. I'm going to do like silver pack videos as soon as I get them, stuff like that, different vlogs and AC. We're going to do either a live stream or recorded video where we're talking back and forth about what happened at the shop, what happened at the national. I feel like that would be kind of an interesting interaction.
Right. Yep.
And then we're just going to do some other cool stuff with the national as well, maybe a couple of giveaways, some cool things. So make sure to stay tuned to our channel for some more content in regards to the national. If you want to meet up, I would love to meet a bunch of you guys. I met a lot of you at your you know, nationals in the past. Looking forward to seeing you guys again. But shoot me a text on Instagram, shoot me an email with your phone number or something, and we can make it happen. So
yeah, if you message on here, it probably won't be the best way to communicate.
yeah, in the comments, I won't. I mean, I might see it, but probably not.
Yeah.
Shoot me an email or a DM on Instagram, and I'll definitely get back to you. So
yeah, but definitely look at our description of this video below. You'll see the contact information. So
Yep.
the Instagram is right there, the address for that.
right, yep, the Up North Collectors with underscores, whatever.
Yep.
Just look at the thing. You'll figure it out.
You'll get
so,
it.
all right, we're gonna sign off here because we're already at 26 minutes. But thank you all for watching. We really appreciate it. We're looking forward to making some national content here. It should be a ton of fun. So again, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you're new here, first time watching our channel, it'd be awesome if you hit the subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. And we'll be back with more content soon.
See you guys.